I hate to say I told you so, but I've been saying this over and over again, and you can read about it in my new book, It Takes a Revolution. Forget the scandal industry, the corruption in the executive branch, particularly in the Justice Department, FBI, CIA, intelligence agencies on both sides, the corruption in Congress with a bunch of court jesters, fools, and criminals running around. You can see them on display with the Comey Barrett hearing that's going on as we speak. And of course, the federal judiciary that is the yes men of those that put them in office. And you can gauge with almost exact certainty how they're going to rule based on who appointed them. I'll get back to that a little later. But yesterday, a new so-called development, or shall we say lack of development, proving that what I've been saying all along is accurate. What you hear on Rush Limbaugh, what you hear on Sean Hannity, what you hear on Mark Levin is basically just advertising to get people to listen to their show. I tell you the facts of life. And here's the latest fact of life. After ignoring an inspector general's recommendation to have James Comey indicted for crimes, former FBI director, as well as Andrew McCabe, the deputy White House director, after saying that Obama, Biden, and the Clintons are off limits, after allowing all these criminals to run free, particularly ones on the Democrat side, our blowhard attorney general, Bill Barr, who I also call Puxatani Bill, that's the groundhog in Pennsylvania that mostly runs into his hole on February 2nd of each year to hide, coming out later, although I'm not sure Barr is going to come out under his desk at all. His latest dive, his latest, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it's just unbelievable, is that the latest hack U.S. attorney that he put in power, John Bash, to investigate the unmasking of General Michael Flynn and others, says there were no crimes, and then walks off the job to get another job in the private sector. Now, this dovetails with the recent revelation that another hack U.S. attorney, both Republicans, I might add, in Connecticut, John Durham, is not even coming out with a report with regard to the Steele dossier, Fusion GPS, and all the other host of crimes that were committed. And of course, then we have Joe Biden, new information that he was collaborating with his son to launder money from the Ukraine, millions and millions of dollars. Nothing will happen there either. So, listen to Rush for entertainment. Listen to Hannity if you want to hear the same stuff over and over again. Listen to Levin. I mean, he sounds smart, but he's part of the establishment too. And I have nothing against Mark at all. I have nothing against Rush. I wish him well in terms of his health. But these people, they've never spent their lives in the trenches of Washington, D.C., the trenches of the cesspool of the legal profession of Washington, D.C., and the law enforcement of Washington, D.C., the swamp. Just yesterday, I advocated moving the capital to Philadelphia, moving it back. Forget about Washington. Let the criminals stay there and commit criminal acts against each other in the government. Let's, we the people, start anew and put it back where the vision of our founding fathers were in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But this attorney general, in many ways, is just as bad as Jeff Sessions. The president doesn't know who he appoints. He takes recommendations. Anybody he sees on Fox News gets appointed to an ambassadorship or a judgeship or a commission or whatever. President needs better advice. I support the president. I want him to win in the next election. I say that personally. But the fact is, the people he's brought in are an absolute disaster, and they're harming him. They have harmed him. These criminals should have been taken out. They should have been indicted, tried, convicted, and put away where the sun don't shine. But yet they are above the law. Now, here's the great irony, too. You watch the confirmation hearings of Amy Comey Barrett. You've got Republican hacks on one side, Democrat hacks on the other side. It's a dog and pony show. But here's the irony. The leftist mafia-connected senator from Rhode Island, Sheldon Whitehouse, I call him Sheldon Outhouse, yesterday goes on a diatribe against Comey Barrett, saying that she's the product of special interest groups such as the Federalist Society and others that let money flow, and what they get is dough. In other words, they get their judge on the bench to do their bidding. You know what? The irony here is that Sheldon Whitehouse, as despicable as this individual is, dripping venom, is absolutely right. It happens on both sides of the political spectrum. What we have on the Supreme Court bench are yes men who have put there by lobbyists and special interests with huge amount of money and connections to get senators to put them up for nomination and to get the president to then put them forth. This is what we're living with. And I want you to go out and buy my book. It Takes a Revolution. Forget the Scandal Industry. You can pre-order it. It's coming out in about a week and a half at barnesandnoble.com, at amazon.com, at booksamillion.com, at borders.com, everywhere. Because I tell you the truth, and I tell you what needs to be done to wage a second peaceful and legal revolution. Not like Sean Hannity in his book, Live Free or Lie. It's actually Live Free or Die, but it is a lie. Because all he says is vote for Donald Trump. Well, you know what? Donald Trump is going to have a hard time doing what he needs to do. We haven't seen a border wall yet either because it gets blocked. The judges block it. The tyrants, the true tyrants in this society are the federal judges and those that put them in power. They're there for life. The Supreme Court gave themselves immunity, gave them immunity. They're above the law. They think they are kings. And in many ways, they have acted like kings. And it was Jefferson who said, and I talk about this in my book, that someday the nation would face another bloody revolution because of the federal judges. I don't want a bloody revolution. I want a peaceful revolution. So read the book. I've got solutions there. Donald Trump, if he wins, is only there for 4 years. The downward slide will continue. And the fact is that even the judges that he put in power, I've been in front of 8 of them, they're as worthless as Bill Barr because they've been put forth by the establishment of the Republican Party through money. Money talks and nobody walks. And that's the way it works. They buy their judgeships. That's my message for today. We have to rise up ourselves. We, the American people, we have to wage a second American revolution, peacefully and legally. We have to get up off the couch, turn Rush off, turn Hannity off, turn Levin off, turn them all off, and get to work. Because if not, we will have no country. God bless you. God bless America. God is with us. He has saved the land of Zion, Israel, many times from extinction when they were driving themselves into the ground with deceit and corruption. He will let us rise up again if we act, but we must act now. And I want you to go out and buy my book. It Takes a Revolution. Forget the scandal industry. We need to do it ourselves. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Until then, thank you for listening to me, and take this podcast and share it. Get the word out. We must man the barricades now. God bless you.
Carl's Jr. presents Charbroiled Double Deals. Try a juicy double cheeseburger, California Classic Double Cheeseburger, or a jalapeno Double Cheeseburger for just $2.49 each. Only at Carl's Jr. Feed your happy. Offer available for a limited time only at participating Carl's Jr. restaurants. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Restaurant